Okay, let's take a look now at the ear. Let's take a look at the ear. Okay, so these are the structures of the ear that we're going to learn. This is just showing you general anatomy of the ear, so you kind of have an overall picture here. I like it. I really like the picture because it shows the outer ear versus middle ear versus inner ear. So it kind of shows you where that is. We're about 8 pages in on the labeling handout. This just shows you a video on how hearing works if you were interested in watching that. So letter A, we're on the external part of the ear. I'm pointing to what you guys have identified as elastic cartilage. This is called the pinna or the auricle of the ear. The job of the pinna or the auricle is to take sound waves and make sure they are sent inside this canal right here. We're going to name that in a second. So it just kind of collects them and channels those sound waves to go inside the ear. That's why when you're trying to listen for something, you may cup your hand around your ear to try to get to where you can hear a little bit better. Well, that's what the pin is doing. So this canal is called, you've probably heard this before, external auditory meatus. Its job is to amplify the sound, and it is a tunnel. Remember, meatus is a tunnel that is going to take those sound waves inside. So this right here is your temporal bone. Remember, the external auditory meatus, what you all saw was the opening on the axial skeleton model. Here is the temporal bone down here. And this is basically where you would put, and I'm not suggesting y'all do this, but this is where the Q-tip would go if you were trying to clean your ear. They say don't clean your ears with Q-tips, but in case you do, this is where that Q-tip would fit, is in here. Now you can see you have a little bit of a problem. This is why they say don't clean your ears with a Q-tip or stick anything in your ear bigger than your elbow, so to speak, because you're not supposed to put anything in here. This structure right here is the tympanic membrane. You may have heard it called an eardrum before. I need you to give me that correct anatomical term, which is tympanic membrane. And this structure right here, you could take the Q-tip and poke it straight through that tympanic membrane, and that's going to cause you not to be able to hear and also a lot of pain. So the function of the tympanic membrane is to take those sound waves, and it's going to cause them to vibrate. So those sound waves are going to come in, hit this tympanic membrane, and then they're going to start to vibrate. Now, these vibrations are going to get passed through, those sound waves are going to get converted to vibrations. They're going to get passed to these 3 little bones in the ear. Now, notice we're in the middle ear now, and you can kind of see we've got one bone right here. Notice it's connected to the tympanic membrane. We have another bone right here, and then we have another bone right here. So these are your 3 bones that are in your middle ear. This first bone that the arrow is pointing to, this bone right here, is called the malleus bone. Malleus bone. Now, the vibrations from the malleus bone are then going to get passed to the next bone, which is the incus bone. And then the vibrations from the incus bone are then going to get passed to the stapes bone. It kind of looks like a stirrup on a horse saddle. So what the job is of these bones is to take the vibrations and get them to the inner ear, because remember, these bones are in the middle ear. Now let's talk about this canal right here that sits behind the tympanic membrane. This is called the auditory tube, also known as the eustachian tube, also known as the pharyngeotympanic tube. I don't care which one you call it. I just put auditory tube in larger letters because I figured you would pick that one because it's easier to spell. It doesn't matter which one you put on the test. So the job here of the auditory tube is, again, to help with pressure. Now, some people may, that eustachian tube could get infected and filled with infected fluid and things like that. And when that happens, what that does is it puts pressure on this tympanic membrane, pushing it outward. Notice the tympanic membrane is supposed to curve inward. So when the doctor looks inside your ear, if that tympanic membrane is pushing outward and inflamed, they know there's a lot of fluid back here in this auditory tube that's infected, and that's an ear infection, and then they'll give you antibiotics for that. Now, if you're a little kid and you continually get ear infection after ear infection, what they may do is put tubes in your ears, and that is where they take that tympanic membrane and put a tube through. So that way it's actually allowing some the passage of some of those substances, equalizing some of that pressure a little bit, relieving some of that pressure before the eardrum busts, before that tympanic membrane busts. So that's where they'll put that tube, is inside of that tympanic membrane, and eventually it'll just fall out on its own. So this is just kind of showing you, if you look at that eustachian tube of an infant compared to the length of the eustachian tube of an adult, it's a lot longer. So it has a little bit, that's why adults don't get ear infections as much as infants do. So you can see they take that eardrum right there and put that tube right in there. Okay, the next thing we're going to take a look at is, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, you can't see it on the model. So it is a hole behind the stapes bone. So the question on the test would be, name the structure behind this bone, and that's called the oval window. And its job is, again, separates middle ear from inner ear, and it transfers the vibrations of the stapes through the oval window into this structure here. So right here on the underside of the model, you can see that little hole right there. That is called the round window. And it's going to help with pressure and equalizing energy and things like that. These three semicircular canals are called semicircular canals. They're going to go in all the different planes, and they help you keep your balance. Okay. Now this area right here, the yellow are nerves. We're not going to name the nerves on the test though. This area right here is called the vestibule. It helps with equilibrium and balance. So you've got your vestibular nerve, which is part of your vestibulocochlear nerve right here, which is going to help with balance. Your semicircular canals are also going to help with balance. And then letter L, this snail shell shaped structure, is called the cochlea. And this is actually where hearing is determined. So this is where the vibrations go in and get translated to sound. And that concludes the ear video.